Hey guys, what's going on? It's Frankie T here, coming at you with another video. This time we're painting Taskmaster from the Marvel United Core box. I haven't really had too much time to make videos lately, so I'm just going to kind of do this one a bit differently, do a quick time lapse over the whole thing, and I'm just going to commentate over top of it. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed yet, to hit that subscribe button and to hit that like button if you enjoy the videos. And I'm going to try to make some new different content coming up in the future. Alright, so for starters, we're going to paint all the blue areas here. So underneath this hood, and it's going to be all the fang from Citadel. Just put that all over there and you're going to be good to go. And after that, you're going to grab some, let me see, I think it is Althorn Gray, from Citadel as well. And you're going to put that all over the cloak on the outside, on his boots in some spots, and on his gloves as well. Alright, so after that, I ended up going around and hitting all the red parts with, what's it called, Mephiston Red, so the inside of his cape, and I think I do it inside of his mouth as well, his arms and sleeves. Yeah, so the best thing to do would be do his mouth now as well with that color there. After that, I grabbed, I think this was Battlefield Brown, possibly, from Privateer Press, and I just went around with that on all of the belts on him, around his body. And then I used Xandri dust on his face, and I just put that everywhere, all over his face here and on his neck, to try to make sure I got it everywhere. Next, I used gunmetal from Army Painter and painted on all the metallic areas that I could find at the moment. This would be on part of his boots and on his kneecaps and whatnot. After that, I went with Greedy Gold and put it on the buckle here on his belt, and on his sword hilt and on the handle there. Everywhere I thought that should be gold. After that, I used a purple tone, and I ended up putting that all over the cloak, the red areas. Don't let it pool up too much. Just try to get it on the cloak, and then everywhere where it's pooling up too much, just kind of brush it off, and with a dry brush, dry it off, and then kind of get it out of there. That way you don't have too much water staining and whatnot. After that, I think I used a blue glaze actually from Citadel. So I think it's Gilliman Blue. Or I possibly used Blue Tone from the Army Painter. I couldn't see there really well. It went by pretty quick, but either or would work. You could just thin down the Blue Tone if it's too blue, or just kind of glaze in the on the on the armor. After that, I took the dark tone and I went around the the areas around his on the blue. I went on the blue with the dark tone, and then I took a strong tone or Agrax Earthshade, and I went over the face with that, just to darken up the skin of his the mask on his head. After that, just go back over with Mephiston Red all over the red parts, just on the raised edges. Don't go into the crevices. You want to leave some of the dark colors inside there, and you're going to do that all over everywhere you can find. Do that with the blue as well. Just hit it all over the model where all the blue is, but again, stay away from the cracks and the crevices. You don't want to go inside of them. Alright, after that, take some Althorn Gray again, and try to go around on the cloaks again. Or if you wanted to, you could do some Corax white. I actually think I took some Corax white here as well and did some highlighting on the white area. This way you can get some nice highlights on this, and the cloak's going to look really good. You could also mix the two colors together just to kind of build up your transition so that it doesn't just the transitions don't go too quickly. That way everything's nice and smooth. Right here I'm putting a batten black on the eye sockets here, and just put it right inside there, inside the eye sockets, and just color them black. After that I took some Xandri dust again, and I started highlighting on his face, just on the raised areas, just to really make it pop, so that the darkened areas with the wash on them there'll be a nice contrast between the two. And then here it just seems like I took a little break and went away. Now I'm back again. Right here I took some Abaddon black and some Mephiston red and put it in the eye socket here. Just tried leaving some space on it, so just not around the full eye socket, just in the center, kind of like a semicircle on the inside there. And then I took some pure Mephiston red and colored even less space on there, just to make the highlights on the eyes look even better. If you make a mess, just go back there like I did there and just use the previous colors and try to clean it up, and you'll be good to go. Things will be nice and easy for you if you just always work in this kind of way, if you're not scared to make a mess and then clean it up. Right there I took some white scar and then just put one dot on each eye socket there. And here I'm taking some Mephiston red and possibly, I'm just messing around with the eyes again, it looks like. Alright, let's just take a moment to thank everybody for sticking with me. Sorry that this video's taken a while and I'm just kind of rushing through it right now. But anyways, to continue, I'm going to use a Ushanti bone on the face. And again, just you're going to use cover most of his face with that, but you want to leave a lot of the Xandri dust as well. After that, just use some Screaming Skull, do even more highlighting on the face, just around the eyebrows, cheekbones, lips area, and actually above the teeth, just to have a nice highlight so that you can, it really makes the face pop. I even go a step further and I take some white scar and mix it in with that Screaming Skull, and I make it even, the highlights even more. Right here, I'm taking Corax white and I'm putting that on the teeth, just spreading that all over each teeth, trying to keep it so that I don't have to go back over it with a wash later, so that you can just do one tooth at a time, try to be as neat as possible, and try not to get this color anywhere else. After that, you can take some white scar as well and dab that on each tooth, just to kind of highlight each tooth as well. Right here, I'm taking some, let me see, it is Ulthuan Gray, I think, again, and I just used some more Corax white, or even added some white scar with it just to highlight the white even more. That way it just gives you a much nicer highlight. Just put that all over, try to leave some of that blue there so that you're not getting rid of your shades as well. Right here I'm taking some white scar and doing some sharp edge highlighting around it. This is pure white scar, and just putting it on the edges, purely the edges, nowhere else. We don't want to go into the center. You can go some into the center just on the folds, the upper folds, but do not spread it out all over the cape or the hood or the gloves. Just mostly where you want the highlights to stand out the most. After that, just fill up your wet palette a little bit because you've been painting for a while and it's dried out. After that, I took some rust gray, I think, or maybe even the fang, and I just went back over the cloak again with some highlighting. But actually this is for sure rust gray, and we're just going to highlight all of the blue areas and try to leave some of the fang color showing before as well. After that, highlight even more with Fenrisian gray, and just do that on the blue and gray areas here, and just try to do highlights only, like edge highlighting with this. You don't want to cover up the whole area of the blue gray with your pure highlight. After that, I grabbed some Evil Sun Scarlet, and I went over the red areas with it and just tried to do some highlighting again. And again, I'm going to say this again and again and again. Anytime you're doing highlights like this, leave some of the previous color so that there's a smooth transition and it doesn't just look like you're blocking in a whole other color. This way you actually get a nice highlight and they blend together nicely. Then after that, I took some Squig Orange and I did the same thing, but this time I was even more selective with where I put the Squig Orange, and I just put it on the edges and the finest point of the red cape on the inside. After that, I took some, I think this is Troll Slayer Orange and Gunmetal, and I mixed those two together to get kind of this like brownish or orange color, and I put that in the center of the shield. After that, I took some Abaddon Black and some of that Gunmetal just so I could get a metallic black, and I did that around the shield here, the little T part. And then I took the Fang again, and I went around the outside of the area of the center part of the shield and just put that in, mix that with Gunmetal as well. Anytime you make a mistake, just go back with the previous color, try to clean it up. That way you just don't have to have any fear about how you're painting it. And then I took pure Gunmetal and went around the outside of the shield and on the inside of the shield as well. I painted that, as you can see here, and I just colored that all over. And everything looks pretty good so far. I was really happy with the way this model was turning out. It was going pretty well. After that, I took some more of that color, the orange color, and I tried making it more solid. It took a lot of coats with this one. It took a lot of time, so if you want, you could probably get away with making it much thicker. Don't try to thin it down too much. All right. So actually lately, I'm going to talk about something else here. As you see here, actually, I decided just to go with a highlight color, so a brighter silver. I think that was plate mail silver or shining silver I went with, and then I just started putting that all over the shield itself. And then I took a dark tone wash and put that all over the shield again, just to try to get the inside the rivet, inside the creases on the shield. And then I took some Metal Medium by Viejo and I mixed that with the Troll Slayer Orange to get a bigger highlight and a much more vibrant orange color. And I did some edge highlighting with the Gunmetal and plate mail silver, and I went around on all the metallic silver colors just to try to edge highlight everything. And what I was trying to say earlier is that I have been working on painting some different models lately again. I've been painting some Death Guard, trying to get those finished, and I came into possession of a 3D printer, and I have been printing off some 3D prints lately, some from Archvillain Games, who have what I've got from, so I got a big demon from them. And I actually got this scarab that I'm really liking right now. I'm painting up for their, they have like a painting contest every month, and I've been really enjoying painting that. I've slowed down a lot with my painting. I'm not painting every day. I would like to try to get back to painting daily and to try to get back to making videos at least once or twice a week. Right now I'm looking at finishing this Scarab model, and then I'm going to be working on some Death Guard again, or possibly a Death Corpse of Craig bust that I've been holding on to. But anyways, I digress. Let's get back into this model here. I'm going around the shield again with the previous colors and trying to bring them back and highlight them all. And then I go around them because I put that wash over it. Just try to clean it up, make it look good. And then after that, I took the gunmetal color and then I went around the whole base and just put that everywhere. The shield, just make sure every time you go around the shield, you're just doing a slight highlight on them, and with the same colors that and just a brighter color each time. So you can use the Fang, then you go up to maybe even a Rest Gray, then Fenrisian Gray, and you make sure you're using a brighter silver as well each time. Same thing with the black, just use a pure black and then use the brighter silvers as well. Here I am using the Battlefield Brown and trying to highlight the belts and stuff and the pouches on his body and the straps on the shield. And just putting that all over and trying to just hit up all the spaces with the brown. I really like Battlefield Brown from Privateer Press. Right now it's been one of my favorite colors. After that I used some Mornfang Brown, and I also used some XV88 as well to do the highlighting on the belts and the pouches on his body. Just kind of mixing those colors together and trying to do blend them and just do some quick highlighting on the belts and the belts around his body. I really think they turned out pretty good. You can need to go through the center of them and do some highlighting just to really make them pop around the edges as well. Just make sure you're consistent with how you're doing it. So with the base as well, make sure you did a wash on it with a dark tone or Nuln oil, and then I'm just doing a quick dry brush with plate mail and gunmetal and shining silver on there. After that, I also did a just another quick dry brush of a brown just to kind of dirty it up a bit. After that, I took some snot green and went around the wires and tried coloring them in as best as I could. And then I also, after that, took some Flash Gets Yellow and did the other wire yellow. Anytime you make a mess here, just go back over it with the previous color and you're good to go. And here we have it, the finished Taskmaster. I think he ended up looking pretty good. You can't see his eyes very well, but I think they look great. He was really fun to paint. He wasn't as fun as some of the other models, but I really did have a good time painting him. Thank you all for watching. I do have some new content coming out soon, and I hope you all will hit that subscribe button and like button, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.